with our own Michael Buck.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next bout is sanctioned by the United States Boxing Association and, of course, the Nevada State Athletic Commission. USBA supervisor at ringside is Mr. Jim Stevenson. The three judges for this bout, Bill Graham, Dave Moretti, and Cindy Barton Hunter. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Bally's Casino Resort here in Las Vegas, Nevada, let's get ready to rumble! Top Rank Incorporated and Budweiser present 12 rounds for the USBA Super Flyweight Championship. The referee for this bout is Carlos Padilla. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing the blue trunks with white letters and weighs an even 113 pounds. Fighting out of Los Angeles, California. His professional record, 16 victories with 6 KOs against only 4 defeats. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenger, Jose Felix Josecito Montiel. And fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the turquoise trunks with black trim and weighing an even 114 pounds, from Albuquerque, New Mexico. His professional record, 18-0, 1 draw, 11 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the undefeated USBA Super Flyweight Champion, the babyface assassin, Johnny Tapia.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, guys, you were already given instructions in your respective dressing room. Any question? Okay, seconds, come up, fighter.
Not a bad stare down, and there's Johnny Tapia. And there's no reason to think he's not taking this fight seriously. He's selling a little space here. Very little space, actually. He's a flyweight, you know?
But imagine if George Foreman were to sell that space.
That's right.
Boggles the mind.
It could say Chaplin's Restaurant and Tortilla Parlor of Guadalajara, Mexico.
Bar and Grill.
Limited.
Yes. These early rounds, I believe, in this match, very important, as I indicated in the keys. I just think that if Tapia gets off to the kind of start he has been getting off to in recent fights, it is going to be very difficult for Montiel to come back.
Montiel, as we mentioned, was once the champion of Mexico, and that's no small task, fighting the way of life down there.
This is a good boxer. This is not some gimme for Tapia. And at 23, the same age as Tapia, he feels, Montiel feels that he's the one that can get the world championship match if he should win this fight.
Nice left hand by Tapia. Montiel suffered a knockout loss to Pedro Rebago in Los Mochis, Mexico in November of last year. Came back, has had 1 fight since then. That was a 10-round decision over Sergio Cornejo, but feels he has something to prove after that loss. Nice right hand by Montiel.
Tapia with a superb jab. One of the ways you beat a jabber is by out-jabbing him, so I think Montiel wants to try and use that jab.
Right hand set up by a double jab.
And I'll tell you what, I talked about it earlier, but you saw evidence of it there, how much better the left hook is for Tapia. He really is getting such leverage on that punch now.
He really desperately wants a piece of Michael Carbajal. Beat him as an amateur. Good right hand. Montiel off balance.
Carbajal would have to step up a few pounds to meet him, but that's something they could make into a very marketable bout.
Hold it down on the Southwest someplace. Carbajal from Phoenix and Tapia from Albuquerque.
Maybe they'll meet in between. How about Flagstaff, Arizona?
Taos.
There you go. My geography's not too good. I was mixing up Nigeria and Kenya earlier today. So.
That's right.
And those are 2 countries. I know that.
Montiel was not a bad jab either. Left hand by Tapia. Tapia again behind the right. Lovely right-hand lead, came back to left hook. And another right hand by Tapia. Boy, is he sharp in the first round.
So quick. This is what you do not want to have happening in the first round against Tapia. He builds on this. He feeds on it.
Very impressive first round for Johnny Tapia. No contest. Tapia just getting much the best of Montiel.
17-5, that margin, and power punches is the operative word. He hit him with some big shots.
Well, that's about as good a round as any corner could hope to have from their charge in the first round of the fight.
Tapia did not get hit much at all and landed some very good shots.
Here are the numbers in the first round. Montiel, wow, threw only 30, landed 14.
I'm shocked at that.
Yeah, I am too.
I can't believe he landed 14 punches. That's amazing. Well, see, now this could be a first. I disagreed with you earlier, and now for the first time, probably, I don't even know, maybe in the history of us having it, I'm going to disagree with our punch profile.
Biorhythms. Punch profile rhythm and my rhythm and your rhythm are just not in sync tonight.
I think that's probably it.
Tapia was pushing Montiel with that. Right hand by Montiel got there. Montiel pretty quick with his hands also.
He is, and we said he was a good ring technician, and you see evidence of that in these early rounds. I just think he's not as fast as Tapia.
Yeah, nor as strong, it doesn't appear.
The height of Johnny Tapia has a problem for a lot of boxers at this weight division.
Yeah, in fact, when you just look at him, that is not a knockdown, I don't believe. No. When you just look at him, he doesn't look like a flyweight. Looks bigger.
Yeah, and his upper body strength is getting better and better. He's made tremendous strides in the last year. He said to us today, he said, I am better. He said, I know I've improved in the last year. I don't think I was ready a year ago to really step up. And his manager trainer, Paul Chavez, who's by Tapia, who's a delightful man, Chavez really is. He, a very honest man, too. He said, you know, I'm telling you now, he's ready.
Combination by Tapia, right hand lead and the left behind it. A little bit of redness over the bridge of the nose. Same combination. Right hand lead, left behind it.
You know, you look at that and you say, well, gosh, why can't Montiel get out of the way of that lead right? Because it's so fast. It is quick. Gets there so fast.
Left hand by Tapia, and he turned that nicely, too.
But we're learning something about Montiel. He's got a chin here, doesn't he?
Yeah, a little glimpse into the future you're getting tonight. Eddie Cook, Johnny Tapia, and the like. We'll be back.
Tapia with power and speed. Good right and right away with the left hand after.
The crowd starts to chant him, Johnny, Johnny, and the round starts the same way with a combination of Tapia.
And we might add there are about 40 people that made the trip. Nice right by Montiel. 40 people that made the trip up from Albuquerque with for Johnny Tapia to root him on. Good contention here.
Albuquerque, New Mexico, just a great sports town. Not only boxing, but just in general. Really
great minor league. The Dodgers AAA team is there.
Yes.
And college basketball and football.
Very big. The Pit. 19,000 people for almost everything. I did a gymnastics event there several years ago, and they had 19,000 people for that.
Wow.
On your card, Tapia the first two.
Yeah. Despite punch profile, I might add, I gave Johnny Tapia both rounds. No, that's not true.
Montiel showing a pretty healthy respect for Tapia in this round. He's on his bicycle.
And, you know, it's not too safe out there, too, because the reach is good for Tapia, and he's quick there, and it's almost safer inside if you can get there.
Yeah, he's quick, and he's patient. And the other thing you got to like about him is he's got good people in his corner, and he knows it, and he listens. I
I guess if you wanted to criticize something about Tapia, it would be if you were looking at him and you were trying to box him or whatever, that he's somewhat one-dimensional. He's basically, he's going to hit you with the jab, the straight right hand, or the left hook, and he's going to do it from an outside stand-up boxing position, and if you can find a way to disrupt him, you're good. But how do you disrupt that? I mean, he's quick.
Montiel saying, come on, hit me on the chin.
Well, he's done that already.
Okay, very good.
The left hand by Montiel, but it has no effect at all.
Oh, step up. Watch your head, okay?
Carlos Padilla tells him to watch his head. We mentioned that there's a little reddening over the bridge of the nose of Johnny Tapia, and I think that was caused from a little brush of heads.
And Tapia didn't like it. It's a misnomer to think that Tapia is not a tough guy in there. He is.
Headed for the end of the third round, and Montiel doing what he can, but so far tonight it just hasn't been enough. Round number 4, and the first 3 assumedly have been owned by Johnny Tapia. It's eavesdrop into the corner of Johnny Tapia. We said it was a very effective corner, and here's what they said.
Punches, but you're getting too far away. You're too far away when you're throwing it, okay? Just get it a little bit closer. And go to your right every time. Every time you go to your right, he's wide open, okay? Go to your right. And get a little bit closer. You're throwing punches from too far away. Get it?
So now we'll see if Johnny Tapia can heed the advice of Paul Chavez. Through the first 3 rounds, here are the numbers in the fight. Tapia, not as big an edge as you would imagine.
Yeah, obviously more punches, and some of that is because some of Montiel's punches are kind of more pity-pat and getting in there, even though they're not really too strong.
Tapia got there with the right hand a moment ago. Montiel's in one of those situations where he knows he can't get into a brawl with Tapia because Tapia is stronger, and by the same token he knows he's not going to win the fight by running.
The jab of Montiel, though, becoming a very effective weapon, and that's part of the reason why those numbers are not that far apart.
No holding, okay?
Carlos Padilla tells Montiel no holding.
And one thing that Jose has done in the last round or two is made Tapia miss a lot with the jab and started to get his own in. And he's starting to box a little bit more at the tempo that he wants and control the tempo, which is something I mentioned he might try and do against Tapia.
And he's not letting Tapia get off in combination either. Holding Tapia to one punch and out. There's a right hand by Tapia. This is for the USBA Super Flyweight Championship, 12 rounds. Tapia got Montiel turned around that time, hit him with a left hand.
And the left hook is a punch that Tapia has had him mothballs for a couple rounds here.
And again, just a moment ago, a bit of a headbutt. Tapia made sure Carlos Padilla noticed. Uppercut by Montiel.
Johnny Tapia is quite a lawyer in the good right hand. He will talk to the referee and try and get an edge.
You could see Tapia trying to work in a little closer, as Paul Chavez said, and you heard, between rounds. End of round number 4, and we'll be back. Round number 5. Scheduled for 12, Johnny Tapia, Jose Felix Montiel. Montiel living in Los Angeles, even though he's done all his fighting in Mexico. On your card, Al, I don't think there's going to be a surprise.
No, I gave Tapia the last round, and so, and it's true, he hasn't run all these rounds in a huge manner, but I thought the last one he was pretty dominant. Take a look at the punch profile numbers in the 4th round, and
Each man throwing about the same amount of punches, but Tapia, as he has been throughout the fight, more effective with his.
Why do they still have it closer than I have in every round? How did that happen? I don't understand that. I guess because they're counting every punch and I'm not.
Yeah, that might have something to do with it. In Tapia's corner between rounds, they told him, don't get out of control, don't lose your temper, stay to the game plan.
Now, there was a beautiful combination. Jab, right to the body, and left hook after it. And I'll tell you what, Johnny Tapia has not gone to the body as well as he's capable of doing.
Started to here in this round.
And we have to give Montiel some of the credit for a lot of this because he is a very crafty fighter. And although he took a big left hand there, he has stayed out of harm's way pretty well.
Yeah, that might have been the best shot of the fight, best single punch of the fight.
The trouble is Jose is not mounting much of an offense. He really isn't. He's not landing much that is meaningful.
Gloves by Montiel.
Good defense by Montiel, and that's an indication, as I said, what a well-skilled boxer he is.
But it seems that Tapia is getting into range a little bit more.
Starting to throw the combinations a little more, unlimbering the left hook, important punch from him, and there is
great body shot.
Body work by Tapia could make a big difference in terms of bringing the hands down of Montiel.
Body shot again. Working the body much better in this round.
Johnny Tapia, it's almost as if he reminded himself, hey, I have a great double left hook. I think I'm going to use it in this bout, and he started to.
So the end of round number 5. And we'll remind you, baseball coming your way, a double dip tomorrow night, beginning at 7:30. It'll be the Red Sox and the Tigers to kick things off. Then the Reds and the Giants, the first and second team in the Western Division of the National League. Well, Giants 3, 4, and 5 spots. Will Clark, Matt Williams, and Kevin Mitchell pretty tough. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 9, however, bit of a problem. It's like having an even set of teeth, right? 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 are missing,
true.
right?
They better start winning, the Giants, if they have any hope of catching the Reds.
Reds just going awfully well right now. In fact, they've been going awfully well since opening day. 7:30 will get underway. 2 games.
Johnny Tapia throwing combinations, never just one punch. Very good example, and now here works to the body and comes with the left hook immediately.
Round number 6, Johnny Tapia, Jose Felix Montiel for the USBA Super Flyweight Championship. Interestingly enough, Tapia at the weigh-in this morning weighed himself with his clothes on and still made super flyweight.
He's right where he wants to be in that weight category. And we talk about champions. Sat Chidolata, the best known of the champions from Thailand, the WB. Sorry, I didn't say he was known, to everyone, but of the 3, he's the best known.
That's a slip.
Yul Woo Lee, the WBA champ, and Dave McCauley, the IBF champ. So those are the people that in his division that Tapia will be looking at.
Interesting that the Thai boxers and Japanese boxers and Koreans to a certain extent have dominated this division for a long time.
Yeah, and between he and Carbajal and a few others, now America's starting to make some inroads, and I'll tell you what, I will tell you, Johnny Tapia could lose tonight. He could, who knows what could happen, but in general, you look at him and you look at a Michael Carbajal, and if they were to keep winning and win some titles, it would be a huge bout down the road.
Yeah, absolutely. Lighter weight divisions in general starting to really capture the fancy of the boxing public. And they're entertaining. I mean, they're nonstop enough action. Three-punch combination by Tapia there.
Very solid right hands. That Montiel did not go down is a credit to him and his conditioning.
Left to the body by Tapia. And a right hand a little off balance caught Montiel on the way in. Swelling around the left eye now of Montiel.
The lead right hand really getting home now for Tapia. If anything, if there's a criticism of Tapia with his body work, he sometimes throws that left to the body from too far out and leaves himself in a vulnerable position to get hit with a counterpunch.
That eye could get to be a problem for Montiel as this fight goes on. Tapia continues to work it.
You know what, Jose Felix Montiel has good defense. His defense is solid. He's been hit with some shots, but he is doing a good job of covering up. There's a good example.
Coming to the end of round number 6, the fight scheduled for 12. It has been pretty much owned so far by Johnny Tapia, but he's in against a pretty game.
Okay? Keep that jab in there. Keep that jab. Go to your left, go to your right, jab, step back, and throw that right hand. Okay? Good.
Here is where Montiel using his head a little bit, and Johnny Tapia distressed about it, feeling that Montiel's trying to cause some damage there.
I thought it was interesting that Carlos Padilla came into Johnny Tapia's corner and said, "Don't lose your temper, okay?" Pretty tough sport not to lose your temper, isn't it?
I guess, and why is it Carlos Padilla's business whether he loses his temper or not?
It's true. Didn't want anybody hitting anybody in there.
I don't know. I mean, isn't he a referee, a neutral party? I'm not suggesting he's not neutral. I'd probably say the same thing to Montiel. I just don't know why he'd say it to anybody.
Again, there have been a number of clashes of heads, and this time it is Tapia who draws the warning from Padilla. Carlos Padilla talks to the fighters a lot during the fight.
Yeah, that is his style, and he will give them assorted directions and suggestions.
Like, find a real job.
Sometimes he will do that even when they're not doing it.
Get your degree.
No, he doesn't do that there. Good jabs by Montiel, and he doubled up with the jab, which he hadn't had a good uppercut. That's something Montiel has not done in this bout. He hasn't doubled up with the jab hardly at all. Do you think officials in other sports, and you do a lot of college basketball, do they talk to the participants as much?
Okay. Not
here we have it again.
Yeah, again a headbutt. And again, it was Tapia who really drew the warning. They'll talk to him before a game, but not during the course of a game, no. Unless things start to get out of control, and then what they'll usually do is call the captains over and say, cool it. Good right hand by Montiel. Very good shot by him.
Excellent right hand, and this is a round in which Montiel has begun to use his jab and land punches behind it.
And I'm almost sure that in Tapia's corner after this round, they will tell him to keep his mind on business, that he might be fighting a little bit out of control here. Right hand by Tapia.
There's Tapia. Oh, that was, believe me, that was intentional. He said to Montiel, "You want to dose your own medicine? Here's what my head feels like."
Good right hand by Tapia. That slowed Montiel.
See, in a way, you don't want your boxer boxing completely on emotion, but sometimes in Johnny Tapia's case, it actually enhances what he does. It's a very close round here.
Let's go into the corner of Johnny Tapia and see what advice he gets.
Did you wait? Yeah. No, you're waiting. How come you're waiting? You're throwing all those combinations and then you back up. Don't back off of the guy after you get those coming. It's hard to get inside. Work to the body. You're not working the body at all. Okay? You got to get busy, John. No. You got to get busy. Awfully busy.
You talk to me with a head.
Yeah, well, just use that jab and don't let him come in with a head.
Too close, Johnny. All righty.
Okay, let's go.
Too close. We don't want to come to that.
Yeah.
Johnny Tapia complaining about the use of the head. In this case, yeah. Well, they both felt it, but I think that was maybe initiated more by Tapia. And there they go again. Wow. A lot of banging on the inside. And both those, I think, were initiated by either both men or just as much by Tapia, but I do agree with his viewpoint that Montiel has certainly used his head a lot here.
Delay in getting the mouthpiece of Montiel into his mouth. Now we're set to go, round number 8.
All the people up here from Albuquerque, I have to say that some of them were astonished that I'm going to be in a team penning this week in Los Angeles, the Ben Johnson Pro Celebrity Rodeo. I'm going to be in team penning. It's this weekend at the LA Equestrian Center in Burbank. All kinds of cowboy stars and everybody there, so it should be a lot of fun.
Nice combination by Tapia.
And hopefully more fun than what's going on here. These guys are getting whacked. And I mean, both men are throwing counter punches, good power shots.
Through the first 7 rounds, Tapia now starting to really draw clear of Montiel in terms of punches landed. And his effectiveness has been up high since the opening bell.
And I think in the last 3 or 4 rounds, except maybe for that last one, he has really picked things up.
Remember, this fight is for a championship of sorts, the USBA Super Flyweight Championship. That's the reason it's going 12 rounds. Montiel has fought for this title before and lost. And Johnny Tapia has won it, defended it, and now this will be his second defense. Coming out of the 1-minute mark, round number 8. Combination again by Tapia, left and a right hand behind it. Doing well with the right hand lead is Tapia.
Oh, and that has been a staple for him throughout this bout. But it doesn't stop Montiel. He just keeps coming through.
There's a little swelling under the left eye of Johnny Tapia. In fact, the swelling that was there with Montiel is no worse than it was, and Tapia's is probably a little worse than Montiel's right at the moment. Tapia's gonna, when he looks in the mirror tomorrow, he's gonna know he was in there with a guy who could hit a little bit.
Oh yeah, Montiel has landed some good shots. The interesting thing about this round is that that lead right hand has landed for Tapia, but Montiel is still there.
End of the 8th round, and we'll be back.
Tapia has just landed countless right hands like this. And that one, a good one from the last round.
And he starts this round with a big right hand. Crowd takes up the chant, Johnny. Your card after 8 rounds, I have an idea. I know what's going to be on this. Shut up.
It is, and you know, there may well be a couple rounds that Montiel won that I've judged closely and given to Tapia. And it's not that Montiel's been completely out of the spot. Oh, big right hand fairway.
And that hurt Montiel, and Montiel covers up, takes a left hand, down he goes. Started with a right.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are you okay? Huh? Yeah. Okay.
And Padilla throws the mouthpiece away.
Well, he'll continue without it because it fell out. squash it, and here it comes again.
Tapia started things with that right hand. Now he wants to finish them.
That combination that he landed against him, it's astonishing that Jose Montiel is able to get up to that. I mean, those were strong punches and a lot of them. And the body work is what, to me, is really impressive in this sequence. Tapia mixing everything up.
And a right hand, and down goes Montiel from a straight right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Long way to go, over a minute.
And there's the no 3 knockdown rule in this bout. Boy, Tapia nearly walked into a left hook as he came racing out.
Racing, the keyword, down from another right hand. And that's it. Carlos Padilla says no more. Very impressive in this round. Very impressive in the first 7 rounds. He was in there with a tough guy tonight.
I think Johnny Tapia is a very exciting fighter to watch. He comes over here, says hi to us. I'll tell you what, it's just those combinations are lightning fast. He's got great power. He shows emotion in what he does. I don't know what more you would want from a boxer to say that he's interesting to watch. Wow, in that last round, Tapia outlanded Montiel 30-3.
Very impressive. And the final knockdown, a one-punch shot right through the guard of Montiel.
Here's the first knockdown, and these combinations, look at tremendous body shots, both sides. And then this hook, this kind of half hook and uppercut really does the job. And then the second knockdown came from a right hand. Montiel was able to get up, which is also astonishing. And finally the third, which even despite no 3 knockdown rule, Carlos Padilla had enough, seen that Montiel had enough. And really it was the left to the body that really put him down.
It was. I thought it was the right hand, but it was the left to the body that was the final blow, literally. Let's get it official now from Michael Buffer. Michael.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Carlos Padilla stops the bout after 3 knockdowns in the 9th round. The official time, 2 minutes, 7 seconds. The winner by TKO, still USBA Super Flyweight Champion, the babyface assassin, Johnny Tapia.
Johnny Tapia, very impressive. On your card, I know won every round and finished it off with a flourish in round